Are you someone who's been taking Vitex for fertility and are wondering if once you become pregnant, should you continue to use it? How do you stop using it once you're pregnant? Is it safe for pregnancy? I'll be covering all of these very popular questions in today's video. If you like natural fertility tips, studies, and these video classes, make sure to subscribe and click the notifications bell, and you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. My team and I have been helping couples with natural fertility for over 12 years now, and Vitex happens to be such a popular topic and such an effective herb that a very popular question we get is, I'm now pregnant, what do I do about taking Vitex? Do I continue it? Do I stop it? And how do I stop it? So we're gonna jump in and talk a little bit about the science behind Vitex, how it's been traditionally used, and whether or not it should be used into pregnancy. So let's go ahead and actually start with the science that we have about continuing Vitex into pregnancy. So there's a couple different things right here. First of all, if you don't know what Vitex is and are wondering what I'm even talking about, go ahead and watch my video on Vitex and how it's used for fertility here. Then you can come back to this video, it'll make a whole lot more sense. So there's a couple different reasons that someone may be using Vitex and be pregnant and be wondering if it's still safe. The first is the person who was using it because they had low progesterone levels and Vitex helped you and you're now pregnant and you're concerned about discontinuing its use because you're afraid your progesterone levels will drop. Okay, there's another type of person who may have used who is using Vitex because they learned that it was traditionally used to prevent miscarriage. So that's the other type of person that we see asking this question of us. And the third is someone who's been using Vitex to help stimulate ovulation and it worked and they're not sure how to discontinue its use now. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into that and help answer questions for those people. So first, let's talk about Vitex in early pregnancy and some of the studies that have been done. There have been no scientific studies done on human pregnancies because they don't do that. They don't ask pregnant women to stand for studies and to do all that. But they have done some studies on rats. So we're gonna jump right into that. There's a placebo-controlled studies done to see what happens when rats use Vitex. They were given a dose that's 74 times stronger than what is the suggested dose for human beings. And there was found to be absolutely no toxicity or aberrations of the developing fetus rats. So there you go. That's the studies that we have. There is a lot of research actually out of Germany that shows that Vitex is actually very safe to use during pregnancy. And I'll actually share my thoughts on that in just a minute though. The Botanical Safety Handbook, this is a handbook that we use as herbalists to check on the safety rating of certain herbs in use during pregnancy, breastfeeding, and contraindications with medications and so on. And it has a very safe rating in that book because many midwives actually use Vitex to help prevent miscarriages. Don't just listen to someone on the internet and try this. All I'm trying to say is to give you some information so that you can learn more about what options that you have. There's some German research that shows that Vitex can be taken safely through the 3rd month of pregnancy, so that would be to the end of the 1st trimester. And it's still considered safe after the 3rd month, but it may stimulate milk production too soon, so that's why they suggest that it be discontinued at that point. Also, by the 3rd month, usually the placenta is taking over the production of progesterone and progesterone is no longer a concern. So if you're deciding to use Vitex during pregnancy, I highly suggest you work with a practitioner such as a midwife, someone who has experience using Vitex. If you're trying to prevent miscarriage, I would definitely be working with someone. The next question that we get often is, could Vitex affect your hormone levels if you discontinue them during pregnancy, such as decreasing progesterone levels in early pregnancy? So it could and it possibly couldn't. So stopping cold turkey is something that we actually don't suggest. We suggest weaning it off for a week or two if you're deciding to discontinue its use during pregnancy. And that would just be taking a smaller and smaller dose each day. What I would do is the second that I found out I'm pregnant and I am using Vitex is I would contact a local midwife, regardless if I was using midwife for the birth or not, and speak with them about it. I'd also let my practitioner know, my doctor or my midwife, that I was using Vitex and the reasons for it. If you were using Vitex to help with progesterone levels, I would request testing to make sure that your progesterone levels are increasing and that nothing is happening because you are either getting off of the Vitex or you just want to make sure that your progesterone levels are increasing enough during your early pregnancy, because that can be a cause of miscarriage. So if your doctor is not willing to give you a progesterone test, find yourself a new doctor, honey. Yes, there are doctors that are very supportive and that will help to encourage you and support you. And there are some doctors that don't believe in progesterone testing, which is crazy. So you have to kind of think how old their education must be. Some doctors aren't used to people coming in and being very educated about their bodies and what's going on with their fertility. So just stand up for yourself. There are plenty of doctors that are fantastic out there. Bring them the studies, let them know what's going on so that you can get that progesterone testing, because this is just way too important. When should you stop using Vitex once you find out you're pregnant? So once your pregnancy is confirmed, I just kind of covered this a minute ago, talk with your doctor, let them know what's going on, let them know why you're using Vitex so they can help to monitor you properly if you're wanting that progesterone testing done. That will help you. Also, if you're someone who is experiencing PCOS, also let your doctor know that so they can help to monitor you. Low progesterone happens to be one of the leading causes of miscarriage for those experiencing PCOS. So making sure that your hormonal levels are healthy and balanced, and that can be done through diet. So you should definitely be continuing your PCOS diet once you become pregnant and still managing that insulin resistance. You can watch my PCOS natural fertility diet information here. I'll also link it below. But you have to maintain that diet to continue to have that hormonal balance proper during pregnancy, especially the first trimester. So my thoughts in a nutshell on using Vitex during pregnancy is it's been traditionally used for a very long time to help prevent miscarriage, but I think you need to work with your practitioner, a skilled herbalist or a midwife who can monitor you and can adjust things as needed. It is much too important. Also, once you do become pregnant, let your practitioner know that you have been using Vitex and the reasons why, so that they can help support you better. All right. Also, one last thing is Vitex is fantastic. It's a great herb, but make sure that you are following the foundational steps for healthier fertility and pregnancy. You can learn more about those in my free Fertility Foundations course. You can sign up below and you can instantly access that course. If you liked this video, please hit like, and in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on using Vitex for pregnancy and the reasons that you started using Vitex and if it was successful for you. All right, I hope you guys have a great day.